y'all, welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. This is the Christmas edition. I am wearing my ugly sweater. Yes, it is a stocking full of tacos and the guac is still extra, like me. I'm really excited. This video will post on Christmas Day because it happens to be a Friday. I hope you're not watching it on Christmas Day. If you celebrate, I hope you are spending time with your loved ones. But hey, if Christmas ain't your bag, AMA Friday is here for you. So hope you guys enjoy the show. We have a special guest, Adam Kozak, who is a job seeker out of Canada. I think the Greater Toronto area, over on the east side, Ontario. And he was kind enough to come on the show, share his resume. What you are about to see is a very lengthy video of me walking through Adam's resume and just thinking out loud and thinking about what I'm seeing, what I like, what I don't like, and I hope that you get some value out of it. It's a really fun exercise. I learned a lot just kind of going through it and checking my own assumptions and thinking about what am I really looking for and how is this resonating with me, you know, the information that I'm seeing on the resume. So really fun exercise. I hope we can do it again. So good stuff. Stick around to the end. It's a long one, you guys. I know it's a long video, but I hope you'll find it helpful. Please do watch at the end because I will be back with a special Christmas offer for my friends out there watching. All right, check it out.
For the best. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for sticking around for this week's special episode. This is the holiday edition, and my friend Adam was kind enough to join us, as y'all know, to do a live resume review with us. So welcome to the show, Adam. You are our very first ever special guest. How does it feel?
Wow, it's a big honor. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yay! I'm so glad you feel that way. This is something we wanted to do. I think in one of my very first videos, I actually talked about, doing like live resume reviews. And this has always been something I wanted to do because I think there's so much value in a job seeker being able to hear the inner monologue of a recruiter, right? So y'all can see I've got Adam's resume pulled up. He was kind enough to share this ahead of time. I did not look at it, y'all. I skimmed it a little bit, tried to get myself somewhat familiar, but this is like a brand new, just opened an application. Here's a resume, and I gotta review it. So we're gonna go through it together. Adam was kind enough to be our first ever live review and also joined us on the show, which is amazing. Thank you for that. So Adam is looking for a business analyst role in the Greater Toronto area, so you're East Side Canadian. Full disclosure, I do not recruit for Canada or for business analysts. So this is like no nefarious intentions here. I'm not trying to recruit Adam yet, maybe someday. This is just an opportunity, again, to look through the lens of a recruiter's eyes and see what we see and how, maybe we think about resumes and what they look like. So we're going to jump right in. We're sharing the screen here, so hopefully y'all can see the resume. So I'm immediately, okay, Adam, Ontario, contact information's there. Cool. I'm doing a quick just sanity check that if I like what I see, I know how to get a hold of Adam. Y'all, I cannot tell you how many times I've received a resume with no contact information. I don't do that. So thank you, Adam, for putting your contact information.
You're welcome.
Okay, my initial thought, I love a good summary. Y'all may have seen my summary versus objective video, so I love a good summary. Adam has a good summary. So I'm immediately going to go to this section right here. Love me a good summary. I also want to point out that Adam used this white space here to drop a title. I will tell you, I've said this on the channel before, mimic the language in the job description. If I am hiring for a business analyst, and that's what Adam wants to be, that's a good use of that space because I'm immediately, even on a subconscious level, making that connection. Well, I need a business analyst, and Adam's a business analyst. I'm going to keep reading. So that's good. If it was a senior business analyst, if it was I don't know what else they might be called, but like I know in my world, I could be a recruiter, I could be a sorcerer, I could be a senior recruiter, I could be a TA professional, I could be a lot of different things. I'm going to want to make this title whatever it is the job I'm applying to, right? So assuming that Adam is sending this to someone looking for a business analyst, another point for our friend Adam there. Okay, so I'm going to jump right here to this summary because I love a good summary. Big fan of summaries. The intention of the summary is to make me want to keep reading. It should be space that is used to create a small paragraph, which is what Adam's done here, and it should tell me enough about Adam's background that I want to keep reading and I want to learn more. So again, we're looking for that to kind of mirror the language in the job description. So let's see what we got here. So you are proactive and innovative, aren't we all? All right, and business and systems analyst, formal education, okay, partnership, stakeholder focused, I like that. Deadlines, type budgets. So this is, the summary is focused on soft skills a little bit, right? And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but I'm kind of left wondering like, okay, well, where are the accomplishments? Where are the wins? What is Adam? I can see that you're probably a cool guy that I'd enjoy working with, which is good, but I'm missing a little bit of context there. I'm like, okay, but what has he analyzed? How many spreadsheets does he have open today? Things like that. So there may be an opportunity to add a little bit more measurable language there. All right, I'm going to be honest with you, Adam. I'm skipping all of this right now. I'm going to come back to it, but for now, I'm like, I'm going to move on. Now I need to know, what have you actually done? So here I'm jumping down to scroll. There, oh, scrolled too far. Let's see, it's backwards on a Mac, so I always do this wrong. Okay, so you're currently working as an automation developer. So, oh, you returned to the organization. So this is interesting. I actually kind of like this call out because this tells me that you are someone that this company respected and liked enough to bring back, right? Is that a fair assessment, Adam?
That's fair, yep.
Okay, good. So I like that. I that's a nice little subtle, like, I'm popular. I like it. Okay, improve and advocate automation, mix of software development, project management, stakeholder. Okay, good. Interacting with people at all levels. I like that. This is now we're hitting that gold vein right here. I love percentages. I love numbers. I removed 150 to 200 hours per month. I can visualize that. I can actually say, Adam solved something. Adam put a quantifiable, measurable achievement here that I can see. So if you're a recruiter, right? It's I made an X number of hires. If you're a software developer, it's I shipped X number of features. So this is good. I love, now full transparency, I don't know how this translates to business analysis, but I love measurable numbers. So well done on that. Absolutely. Dropping runtime from 20 hours to 2 hours, and I'll try to if I can work my mouse properly, I'll try to highlight as I'm looking as well. This is like, y'all know that we're not professionals at this recording and sharing stuff, right? we're just a couple of kids trying to make our way in the world, looking at a resume together. Okay, so bonus. Let me do it this way. Here we go. I like this. This is kind of a fun little add-on, it's kind of like a pro tip or a hot tip or something. I'd love to see a little more context. I'd love, how many people? Was it a staff of 3 or was it a staff of 300 that benefited from this, right? So that there could be an opportunity to just give us a little bit more flavor there, kind of sprinkle some numbers in there, might be fun.
Okay. Yeah.
You have good numbers already. Like there's, again, the context here is solid, but it's a fun little bonus, but I want to know more. All right, triple the size of automation. Again, maybe could use, some more numbers there, but you do give us the runtime reduction, which I'm imagining is super cool, and then reducing the amount of false negatives. Boy, if I could figure out how to do that on my desk, because I get a lot of, this resume looks great. Oh, none of that's true, So we get some false negatives and false positives in my industry as well. So, okay, so this is good. So this is now, again, making some assumptions here that this is now relevant to the role that you want to apply to. I'm digging it. I definitely want to keep reading. This is looking good to me. So previously you were with a different company. You were there about a year, so that's fine. And you did, okay, partnership lead business analyst. So I'm seeing the title. So now I'm like, whew, he's held this job before. Okay, so this is good. One of the initial concerns I had looking at your current role was, is he a career changer? Like, is that what we're doing here? Is he going into something he hasn't done before? But you have been a business analyst before by title. So I love that. That gives me a little bit of like, whew, okay, this is not going to be, a big pitch on my part to my hiring manager. Okay, so you're explaining to me what you've done, analyzing data structures, vastly improve integration with vendor technology. Okay, good. Calling out GDPR. This is good. I'm going to imagine, especially for larger companies that are working with European clients and things like that, stuff like GDPR is probably critical. So yes, especially if that is talked about in the job description, make sure it's in your resume. You're adding it here, so that's good. Another box I can check off. I don't have to worry. Does Adam know about this privacy stuff? So that's good. 7-person client success team. Yes, that's what I want to see. I can picture 7 people sitting in a room enjoying the benefits of Adam's hard work. So this is really good. Selected projects and achievements. Okay, 7% team, 350 production hours per month. Huge. That sounds impressive. I would hope it is to somebody looking for a business analyst. Reducing change requests by 60%, which is great. And data, okay, and so here we actually go deeper in the GDPR stuff. And again, this is, making a little bit of an assumption here that that's something that's important to the company you're applying to. But you not only are familiar with it, you actually took on this specific role as it relates to GDPR. That's important. A lot of times we'll see on resumes, people will say, fluent in Java, right, as an example. And then you like, great, we're coding 80% of the time in Java. This is awesome. And then you get them on the phone and, hey, tell me about a project. And they're like, oh, well, I took a class in college. Okay, so by that measure, I'm fluent in Spanish. I can get us a bathroom and a beer, okay? Like that's, let's not get a little silly with our interpretation of fluency here. So, but you're proving it, right? You've got that context that like, hey, I was actually in this, official capacity to ensure compliance. So that's really good. So, okay, so we're going to keep on going here. Now, this was software developer. So you were more of a traditional engineering SWE kind of guy. Okay. Development QA. Again, we're seeing some good data points, some good numbers there, 80%, 75%, things like that. First point of contact for requests and questions. I kind of like that. So I'm picking up on some leadership and some ownership signals here, which is good. Those are the kinds of things that may not always be readily apparent or like in a job description. And when they are in job descriptions, they're like stupid bullets like, must be a strong communicator. Like, what does that even mean? It's so like subject to interpretation, right? So, but that's okay. But you're giving us some signals and some insights that say, I've been appointed into these like client-facing roles. I've been the person responsible for GDPR, things like that. So I'm digging that. I'm really liking that context that you're giving us there. Yeah. So, again, I think there's some room for maybe some more verifiable numbers, but you do have a good amount of that. So I'm not gonna belabor that too much. Because there probably is a point when it's too much. So I don't think you're there, but you've got some good stuff there. So well done. Okay, some additional programmer analysis stuff, rewrite companies' inventory management systems. Okay, saving 2 people a total of 30 production hours. I like it. Again, I can visualize that. I can close my eyes and see 2 people in a room slaving over this system, and you fixed it, which saved them time to go do other stuff. So that's cool. I like things I can visualize. Okay, now we're going to pop on down here to proficiencies and education. It's okay. I mean, I'm not, again, full disclosure, I'm not seeing anything here that is like jumping out or kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's got UML. That's amazing. But I'm also not recruiting business analysts. Maybe it is amazing. I don't know. To me, this is just more of, if I have to do a quick, let's say, for example, IAM is critical. I must have I can't even, if somebody doesn't have identity management, I can't even, I've had dev roles like that in the past, right? Doing a quick Control F, which people give recruiters a lot of shit for, but sometimes it comes in handy. I would then be able to immediately, kind of jump this and say, okay, great, he's done identity access management. That's cool, checking off them. So it's more of like a box check, right? Agile, waterfall, Kanban, okay, whatever, we know. Oops. That's fine. So I think this is good from, I guess, just a keyword perspective, because here's the reality. There are going to be recruiters and companies. There are no bots. I will say this until the day I die or a bot is invented. Okay, when a bot is invented, I'll shut up about this. Until then, this is the only bot, and this is the first time. Look at the resume, Sherman. Do you see it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Yeah, Sherman approves. That's as close as you're going to get to a bot. However, you will run into recruiters and companies who are maybe running a Boolean string against the resumes in their pipeline, right? That is absolutely possibility. You may also run into, maybe you weren't picked for the role you applied to, but you're still in the database, and the next role that comes up, maybe you didn't see it, but they're going to search anyway, and they're going to find you. So I think it is important to make sure you're kind of checking those keyword boxes, as much as it pains me to say it. Like, I don't want it to be that way, but I recognize that it is, so here we are. But I also like that you're dropping it at the bottom. It's not the first thing we see. A lot of job seekers make this mistake where they kind of load up that top third of the resume with all of this keyword bingo nonsense, and it's actually distracting. So if you were think about just how we looked at this together just now, hopefully you guys picked up on the parts that I got excited. Oh, he did this thing. Oh, and that's measurable. And that was in the first half of the resume. That's what's going to make me keep reading. If I'm excited, if the hook is set at the beginning, I'm going to keep going. And at this point, I'm now just verifying my gut check, which is Adam is somebody that I want to call, right? So we have the software languages, things like that. Again, great. If those things are required, awesome. The only caveat I would put there, and this kind of goes back to the, the summary as well as some of the call outs in your work history. You're telling me you have this, SQL, C#, .NET, okay? Not uncommon. We would expect that, I think, from people in your field. I don't know how you've used those things. That would be kind of the only, I'm like, okay, well, if that's important, and so the job description and hopefully conversations with peers, potential hiring managers and recruiters will give you those indicators. If that's important, maybe figure out a way to pepper that in. So if we were to go back, let's say we're looking at, let's just look at this one since it's right here. Reduce bug fixes and change requests by 80%. I love that context. Again, measurable, I dig it. maybe tell me the tools that you used. Were you in SQL for something like that? Were you writing that code in C# or something? So I'm not necessarily suggesting you get rid of this. Amateur hour up in here, y'all. I think this is good to have, but I'd like to see it maybe peppered throughout the work history as well, and draw those parallels to, I do have QA testing and here's where, as opposed to just being a keyword in your proficiencies section. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then we have education. It's fine. I mean, you know, I don't know how much these certifications will matter. I mean, I think it obviously shows that you have been tested, you know, on these concepts and know what you're doing, so that's good. But is it going to be a deal breaker? Probably not. I think leave them on there, but I think you made the right call putting it at the bottom. It's not the thing that makes you the most qualified. So for my new grads, for my students, for my entry-level folks, it may be your education that makes you qualified. Lead with that. You want to put the thing that makes you the most relevant to the job at the top. In Adam's case, it's his work history. It's his proven success in doing these things and the measurable achievements and things like that. So for someone who is, you know, a new grad who's fresh out of college, doesn't have work experience, is looking for that first internship, looking for that first, you know, full-time gig, perhaps, education is probably the leader. Education may be the first thing you want to list, maybe an internship, things like that. In Adam's case, certainly in my case, we've been at this, you know, work stuff for a few years now. Some of us longer than others. We won't talk about that. We're not looking at my resume here. It's many pages. But you know, the work history is what we want to lead with. So that was a good call. And I think that is the end of the resume. So last thing I'll point out, page length. Adam, I think we're at 2 pages, right? Yeah, we have 2 pages here. Okay. Did y'all notice that I didn't even know we had 2 pages? Because I'm just scrolling. I'm not printing it. I'm not carrying it around. I'm not putting it in a folder after a job fair. I used to have much stronger muscles because I would carry huge boxes of resumes and swag and pens and stuff around job fairs way back in the day. We're not doing that anymore. 2 pages is fine. I scrolled until I saw what I needed to see. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're not printing them. Don't let people tell you that you have to make it fit a certain size, because it's not true. The reason 2 pages works for Adam is because there's enough content to fill it up, and there's also lots of space. There's good white space. There's good page breaks. You've used bold very well. You've bolded your titles. That again draws the eye. I'm able to like hone in on those things and then kind of look at those bullet points. So I like it. I like the bold. I like the italics. I think you've done a good job with formatting, which makes it easy for me to skim, as well as easy for me to then go back and read again, right? So I kind of do a first pass and then I'll go back and read deeper if that first pass is kind of giving me the signals, the percentages, the data points, the keywords, those kinds of things that I'm looking for. Okay, now I promised you I was going to go back to one of the first sections of your resume. Core competencies. It's okay. It's, you know, it's and I'll tell you why. This is good from the perspective of, again, kind of that keyword match, right? If I'm trying to be found, I want to, you know, be picked up in an applicant system. I want a recruiter to recognize words that they don't understand but they know they need to see. Fatigue analysis is a big one in my world. No clue what it means, but I know I need somebody who can do it, right? Wikipedia is my best friend. But so to that end, you know, requirements, database development, it's fine. I'm going to be honest with you, Adam. This core competency piece is not going to make or break your resume, in my opinion. Your formatting, your layout, it's clean, it's readable. I'm not going to deduct points for it, but it's not necessarily adding a whole lot other than, again, just an opportunity for some quick keyword matches. I think you're fine to leave it as is. But I think if you're worried about spacing or, oh my God, I've got to reduce something, I've got to take something away, that's probably something we could live without, because you're speaking to those things throughout the rest of the resume. So that's a very, very common thing that job seekers do. They really over-index on soft skills, and they really get deep into the weeds of being a strong communicator, relationship building, and all. We expect these things in our employees for the most part. Nobody wants to work with, jerks. So yeah, please be a good relationship builder. But how are you proving that? How is that going to show up in your resumes and then in your interviews, right? So I think it's fine. I don't want to like belabor this too much and beat a dead horse, which is one of my hobbies. But I think that would probably be my one maybe more critical feedback, is like, is this serving you? I'm not sure that it is. I don't think it's hurting you. But if you were to ask me, like, is this really a value add? Maybe not. I don't know. I like data. I like to see numbers and facts and figures and things like that. And I'll just pick on relationship building one last time and then I'll stop. But, you telling me about saving the time for these 7 people or impacting this team of 3, those are the things that are going to speak to the relationship building. Those are the things that's like, okay, he did this stuff for these people. I bet they like him. I bet they sent him a Christmas gift, So there is kind of some potential proof in the pudding there that goes beyond just that phrase. Okay. So I don't know how long we've been at this. I have not been keeping track. So hopefully we can squeeze all this into the final video and it's helpful for everybody. It was certainly a good exercise for me, just talking out loud. I normally do these while I'm listening to Master of Puppets. So this has been a new experience for me as well. So with that, Adam, thoughts? How did that feel?
Oh, that felt fantastic. Yeah,
awesome.
It was really, really cool. Lots of great insights. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, very cool. I just want to ask, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but if there was one takeaway you got from this exercise, what do you think you learned the most, or what was most helpful, or what did you want to hear that you didn't? Maybe we should cover something that I didn't talk about.
Just I guess I really like the feedback on a lot of the calling out of the data points. I think that was really cool. And also the feedback on the core competency stuff was pretty, that makes total sense. That like, yeah,
okay,
it's great that you say these things, but if you can't back it up, then,
Yes. I think that is the one thing I would want people to take away from this, is everything on your resume has got to be verifiable. Right? And that verification often comes in an interview. So when you are invited to interview and they're gonna be like, okay, so you reduced the average time to develop new automation tests by 40%. Tell me about that. Walk me through that project. How did you do that? And if you don't have that story, so going to like the STAR method, which we talked about on the channel a few weeks ago, maybe it was last week, I don't even remember. At some point we talked about the STAR method. I don't remember when. You have to be able to back that up. You have to be able to start telling that story. Well, I started with this and we were working in, I don't know, Team Center, and we were moving to Windchill, and I had to, like, you've got to have the proof, right? You've got to be able to back up how you achieve that 40% reduction, right? So is that what it is? Yeah, reduced. Okay, making sure. So very cool. Well, I hope that was helpful for the viewers and the listeners. This was a lot of fun for me. I'd love to do these more often. So if anyone would like to volunteer to be our next guinea pig, would love to get you on the channel. So with that, once again, Adam Kozak, my new friend out of Ontario, Canada, looking for a role as a business analyst. Adam, if there are any recruiters out there watching who are desperately seeking a business analyst in your area, what can we help you with? I'd love, this is an opportunity for you to just give us a quick pitch, if you'd like, on what you're looking for, as well as how folks can reach you if they have something juicy to share with you.
Oh, absolutely. So obviously looking for a business analyst role at a super company. I would love to be able to. I love my hometown. I love my town of Thunder Bay. I really hope I can stay there. So being remote would be fantastic.
Nice.
In terms of industry or domain, I'm very flexible. I'm curious. I love to learn new things. I'm great. People find me easy to talk to, so I find I pick up on things really good. And if people want to reach me, definitely LinkedIn is the best place. I'm there on there every day. So just search up Adam Kozak on LinkedIn, and you'll find me.
Awesome. And Adam, I think we are connected. If we are not already, we will rectify that, but I think we are connected. So if y'all are reaching out to Adam, or you're struggling to get in touch with him, or he's ignoring you, drop me a note. I'll see if I can nudge. No, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think Adam is very receptive to y'all, and hopefully we've got some recruiters. I know I've got some friends in Canada who are recruiters, so I'll definitely be planting a seed with those folks as well, see if we can get you hooked up here. So remote work would be great. I'm going to go Google Thunder Bay because it sounds really fun, and I want to know what that's all about. And let's see if we can make a connection for you here, Adam. One last thing I'll mention. We did not talk about your years of experience or time in particular companies because I don't care, right? Years of experience may be important if we are, and I don't know if Canada would have these, but in the States we have basic qualifications, right? OFCCP compliance. I saw pretty quickly you've been in this industry, I want to say it since like 2012 or something. Is that right? I think that's what I saw. So you've been at this, 8 years. That's fine. Check the box. And then as far as, the tenure at these different companies, you returned to a company you had been at. So that already tells me you're a known, someone that's liked and respected. So I didn't spend a lot of time on that because I don't care. And I think really for the most part, a lot of recruiters are way more concerned with just the ability to do the job, those kinds of things. And so I know I'm kind of should have talked about this earlier, but it just hit me that we didn't discuss that, and it's because it doesn't matter. At least not in this case with a resume as well done as this one. So thank you once again, Adam, for joining us here on the show, Recruiting in Yoga Pants, and I wish you all the best in your job search, and hopefully this will be a jumping off point to get you some strong connections to get you to that dream remote job. All right, everybody, find Adam on LinkedIn, and we'll wrap up.
Thanks so much for watching and sticking it out to the end. Is Adam not great? I really hope this kid gets his dream job. He was such a good sport, really put up with all of my shenanigans and constructive feedback. But it was a lot of fun. So I hope y'all got some value in that. I got so much energy and emotional currency from this exercise, and it was really great. So my Christmas gift to you is I want to offer up 5 coaching sessions in the new year. So in the month of January, I am going to do 5 coaching sessions. These will be like full-on resume review, job search strategy, networking, whatever it is y'all need and want to hear during a career coaching session. I am not a career coach, y'all. This is not my profession. This is not a side gig. This is not something I make money at. This is just me hoping to share some expertise one-on-one with folks who need it. So you may be asking yourself, how do I get one of these coaching sessions, Amy? Well, it is the holidays, and in the spirit of giving, I want you to nominate someone. That's right, boys and girls. Think about a person in your life, a friend, a colleague, a family member who's struggling with their job search, who's just hitting brick wall after brick wall and just needs someone to talk them through it. Those are the folks I want to talk to. So if you have someone in mind and you would like to nominate your friend or colleague or relative for a free coaching session with me, send an email to amy@recruitinginyogapants.com. Put Christmas coaching in the subject line so I don't miss it. I will pull names out of a hat while I'm on vacation next week, and we'll see if we can get some folks a jump start to their career search in the new year. Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful for your friendship, your viewership, your sticking with me throughout this entire year. It's been so fun, and I'm really excited to see what we can do together in 2021. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week.